Hey everybody, it's the Boardwalk Astronomer here. I've been meaning to do this video for a while. This is my tips for people who want to do public astronomy for 2009. This is just a collection of things that I think are useful to have and to do. The first thing you want to do is you want to pick out a good location. I picked Havre de Grace, Maryland, specifically the boardwalk on the Susquehanna River next to the Concord Point Lighthouse. It's a great location, and what you want to think about is just getting a place where people are constantly walking by, and that there's not much ambient light around, but just enough so that people aren't scared of the area. Now I have a couple of things here that I bring with me every time that I want to show you. The first one I mentioned in another video: sunscreen. Now I want to talk a little bit about solar filters if you're going to do solar astronomy. You want to get a good one, and you want to make sure that there's nothing wrong with it. Mainly because you don't want to be blinding the public, because that will result in the city of Havre de Grace versus the Boardwalk Astronomer, and that's not going to be a very good thing. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but if you take a look at this thing right here, you might be able to see that there's fingerprints all over it. That is because people are going to touch it, and that's something you're going to have to learn how to deal with. I suggest just telling people not to touch it before they come up, and you can do it in a nice way that won't be insulting or anything. But it's not so much the grown-ups; it's the younger people, specifically the kids. You got to make sure tell them to put their hands behind their back when they're going to look or something like that. Otherwise, they'll grab things and touch things, and you do not want them touching the solar filter, especially. Plus, then again, you have to realign everything, and that gets annoying. But for the most part, you won't have much trouble with that kind of stuff. It's just important to think about with solar filters specifically. The next thing is a cloth. Bring a cloth, a nice one that's not going to scratch up your optical equipment, and you'll want to bring that because of the touching issue that I've just mentioned. You're going to have to doing a lot of rubbing people's breath off of things and smudges and stuff like that. Next thing that I found very useful was when if you're gonna go off on long tirades explaining things, and I urge you not to do that because you want to leave people wanting more, not saying they had enough. So don't explain away too many things. Let them look it up for themselves if they're interested when they get back home or something. But bring some flashcards with you. I got these for free at the Maryland State Fair. You can pick them up for free. Lots of different places where they have science stuff, and this is just good to show people things so that they have an idea of what you're talking about while you're talking about it, and they don't get confused. The next thing that I found pretty helpful, all astronomers usually do, is a red flashlight. If you're going to read a star chart while you're doing that, kind of crucial to have. Don't want to ruin your night vision. As long as we're talking about lights, bring a laser pointer, preferably a green, violet, or blue one. And you know why we use that, but mainly it saves you time and not having to go, that one, no, not that one, that one, that one. You can just take your laser pointer, point, and say, that one, and everybody knows what you're talking about. Now, you're not, for the whole 2009 International Year of Astronomy thing, you're not supposed to be charging people. Of course you can if you want. You can do whatever you want. I don't know if in some places they might even require like a business license to do that, but I urge you not to charge people because it's just going to dissuade them from coming up. One thing you can do is accept tips. I suggest just letting people hand you tips if they want to. If they want to. You don't even have to ask or push for it. But if you're going to have a tip jar, don't. Because nobody will stop by. Trust me. Now, why do this? Well, I'll tell you from personal experience, it's been a lot of fun for me, and most of the people that come up are just fascinated with anything that you show them. I just do a real quick show people all the basic stuff and explain a couple basic things, throw a couple of my really amazing facts in there, and that's usually good enough. And I've actually had people say that they're thinking about buying telescopes now, and some people have come back for multiple shows. And one thing that I found particularly rewarding is one night there was a couple who came by while the sun was still up, and I showed them that, and they asked me, well, are you going to be around doing stars? I said, yeah. And later that night they came back and they had brought me like a 3-course meal for dinner. and they sat there and they had dinner with me, and that was really something else. So it's extremely rewarding, and it's extremely fun. But just think about, plan it out a little bit. Plan what you're going to bring with you and what you're going to say and do, and that way you're not stumbling over your words and stuff like that, and making people walk away less than impressed. Because the whole point is just to show people the good stuff. This sky, everything, it belongs to everybody. So if you think about it like that, I guarantee you're going to have a really, really good time. So this is, I hope you picked up some good stuff for this. Hope it was helpful to some people. This is the Boardwalk Astronomer saying good night.